Hey everybody. So we have a trade to talk about here. It's not a major trade. It's actually a pretty small one, but still significant enough to be worth talking about. It's between Toronto and Vancouver. Um, Vancouver gets Josh Leivo from the Toronto Maple Leafs in exchange for Michael Carcone, who's headed from Vancouver to Toronto. Um, Basically, the reason for this trade is William Nylander. When Josh Leivo signed with Toronto, they promised him that if the time ever came where he fell out of the everyday lineup and he wasn't going to be a nightly player in the Maple Leafs lineup, that they would trade him. And Toronto has granted that wish. With William Nylander signing and returning to the Maple Leafs lineup, somebody forward needed to come out. Josh Leivo was first in line to come out. So with Nylander signed, he was not going to be an everyday player for the Maple Leafs. So they granted his wish. They have traded him to Vancouver in exchange for Michael Carcone. In Vancouver, Leivo is probably going to get a chance to play second or third line minutes and actually be a valuable, important piece of that team. Leivo is 25 years old. Carcone is 22. Carcone is not an NHL ready player. He's an AHLer. He's been in the AHL with the Utica Comets, which is Vancouver's AHL team. Leivo has been in the NHL last season and this season. He's been an NHL regular. This season in 27 games, he has 4 goals, 2 assists, and 6 points. Carcone in the AHL has played 20 games this season. He has 6 goals, 11 assists, and 17 points. So 17 points in 20 games is not bad for Carcone. He's a pretty talented young player, but an AHL player right now. I would be, he's going to play for the Toronto Marlies. He's not going to be a Maple Leaf. Maybe if they really got into injury problems and needed to call people up, Carcone could end up playing in Toronto for the Maple Leafs, but that would take a number of injuries for that to happen. I would expect Carcone to stay in the AHL all season long this year. So not a huge deal, not a game-breaking trade or anything, but a pretty, still a noteworthy deal, a small trade between Vancouver and Toronto. And this directly comes from William Nylander signing, pushing Leivo out of the lineup, and Leivo had a agreement in place with the Maple Leafs that if that happened and he was pushed out of the everyday lineup, that they would move him to a place where he would play, and in Vancouver he absolutely will play. So that's pretty much it. Just a simple 1-for-1 here. Vancouver gets a pretty decent young player in Josh Leivo, somebody who I think has untapped potential. And Toronto gets somebody who is an AHLer at this point. They don't have to worry about getting him into the roster because he's not. He's going to play in the minors, and could potentially become a fourth line type player, third or fourth liner in the future. But is perfectly at home in the AHL at this point. So Carcone to Toronto, Leivo to Vancouver. That's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media, check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support Off the Wall Hockey, the link to our Patreon as well as the link to our merch store are both down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.